कम ज्यादा करनी हो।
हरे कृष्ण माता जी।
हरे कृष्ण माता जी।
हरे कृष्ण माता जी। Hear you, माता जी।
Hare Krishna Mata. Hare Krishna. Can you all hear me?
हरे कृष्ण
हरे
माता जी।
कृष्ण माता जी। This is Subhadrangi Dari.
Hare Krishna. All right. Good job. Okay. Are you all ready to play Kahoot?
Yes, माता जी।
Yes,
माता जी।
Yes, Mataji.
Not here, माता जी।
Not yet.
Yes, because Subhadrangi Dari, because we didn't sign in yet. Didn't.
Yeah. Take your time. I'm just trying to open all the windows here. Just getting ready. Varun, join Panitia. I'm also working on we will get started with our prayers and then, I'll share my screen. Om
ज्ञानञ्जनस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। तस्मै श्रीगुरुं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरुं श्रीयुतपदं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवान् च श्रीरातं सहगणललितान्वितं तं सजीवम् साद्वैतं साधुतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपदान् सहगणललिता शिवशकान्वितं च। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांत श्रीराधकांत नमोस्तुते। सप्तकांचन गौरंगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानु देवी प्रणमामि हरि प्रिये वंशकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुवेव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामीति नामिने नमस्ते शस्ते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाशतादेशदायने जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवसादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे।
Okay, kids, did everybody join? Is all of you all on the call?
Yes, Mataji. Yes, Mataji.
1 second.
Mataji.
Are you all able to see my screen, kids?
Yeah, what's the code, Mataji?
Yes, I'm going to give you the code. Please be ready to pick up the code, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's loading. 662817. Six six two 817. Are you all ready?
Mataji, there's someone drawing.
Oh, someone is drawing. I also
Yeah, I
don't
think
know.
Varun. He's like making marks on the screen.
Oh, can you do that?
Yeah.
Aditya, where are you? Did you join?
Yes.
Is it that okay name?
Yes.
Okay, Brinda
Think-
Mukund
And I think Tanvi is also drawing.
Tanvi, yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 2 more?
How many people are supposed to be there in total?
14, right?
Let me check in participants.
Mataji, there are 15 people.
No, you have to exclude me, dear. How about
Okay,
Soumya?
Mataji.
Soumya is there, okay. How about
think
Prahlad? Prahlad is there. Tristan, are you in?
Ananjanayan didn't join.
Tristan?
Can somebody
Ananya?
please like clear whoever drew like the stuff on the screen? Can they clear it? Because it's kind of like
No problem. We are going to go away past that. Okay, Vrinda, who's missing now? Harini, did you join?
Yes, Mataji, I joined.
Okay. I think,
Mataji,
yes.
Ananjanayan didn't join.
Ananya?
Ananjanayan.
Anjani? I can't. Oh,
Yeah.
Anna.
Anjani.
Okay. Right. Anjani, Anita. Did you want to participate, dear? Anita? Anyways, I'm going to get started now.
6 to 8.
For the verses, can Varun read the verses, Varun? The verses. Idam shariram kaunteya kshetram it abhidhiyate. Completed. That is the first question. Okay, 9 of you all got it right. 2 of you missed it. Varun is leading, followed by Monish, Prahlad, OK, and Gauranga B. Congratulations. Varun, did you want to read the next verse? Okay, turn on the mic. Complete the sentence. Complete this verse, okay? Wonderful. That was pretty quick. And the answer we all know. This is highlighted here. That is the answer. And 2 of you all click the red button, which is the Etat Kshetram, which is wrong, right? Okay. Who's leading? Varun is leading, followed by OK, Vrinda Mukunda, Munish, and Gauranga B. Who wants to read the next verse? Okay, let me see the hands up. Does somebody want to read the next verse? Aditya, can you read it?
which one, Mataji?
The next verse, which is going to be as a
Kshetram?
question. The question.
Yeah, okay, that's it then. Okay.
Yeah, no, after this, I'm going to press next and there will be a
Okay.
verse
This
that
one,
will come.
the one coming up.
The one coming up, yeah.
Okay.
Yes, you can go ahead. Amanitvam. Amanitvam adambitvam ahimsa shantirarjavam. Complete this particular verse.
Okay, should I say it now or after? Once the question.
Yeah, you can say it now.
Okay.
No, in the sense I wanted you to read the verse, I myself read it.
Oh, I thought you meant read the entire verse.
Okay, you can do the entire verse now. Yeah.
Okay. Amanitvam adambitvam ahimsa
Swamadambitvam
chantirajamam
ahimsa
acharyopasanam
chantirajamam
shocham stairyam
acharyopasanam
atmavinigraha.
stairyam.
So I wanted Aditya to read it. If you wanted, you could raise your hands up. Okay. That way, what happens is we need to make sure that there is synchronization, right? Otherwise, it becomes so noisy and the Lord will be like, what's going on here? So many noises and they are not at all synchronized. Okay. So Shubhadra and Giritari, if you want to read, you can read now. You can ask me and you can read now. Yes, go ahead. Haribol, Shubhadra, are you on?
Yes,
Am I on?
Mataji.
Yeah, you can read now. Yeah.
Okay.
Amanitvam.
Atmanitvam adambitvam. Amanitvam adambitvam ahimsa shantirajam achayopasanam socham stairyam atmavinigraha.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, both Aditya and Shubhadra. So the next verse, can Prahlad read after the quiz? Are you on, Prahlad?
Yes, Mataji.
Okay, dear. You can read the next verse.
Okay.
Okay, we have Varun the carrot leading, followed by followed by Bhavya, Gauranga, Vrinda, Mukunda. Who is Vrinda Mukunda? Is it Vrinda or somebody else? I'm seeing this name.
Me and then my brother.
Okay, that's good to know. Thank you so much. Okay, the fourth verse. Oh, I'm sorry, there is no verse here. Okay. English meaning for Amanitvam. What does Amanitvam mean? Pridelessness, humility, or non-violence. And Amanitvam, we all learned that verse previously, right? I'm just asking for that. Very important. The first quality we are required to cultivate is humility. And what is humility? Meaning of humility?
Mataji, humility means pridelessness. Like you don't have the pride. You're just like whatever you did very nicely. You don't deserve it. Like you think you don't deserve it. It's because of Krishna.
It is because of Krishna. Yes, that is being humble, right? Sishtastakam also.
Wait, Mataji, so does that mean that pridelessness and humility
No,
are
no,
both
no.
the same
Mataji,
thing?
I will tell you.
Amanitvam means humility.
Yes, Amanitvam means humility. We will see about this briefly. We will see about 13th chapter. After this quiz, I'm not going to reveal you the answers now because if I'm going to see, I can only talk about humility, but I can't talk about the other things. If I start talking about it, then the answer will be revealed, right? For the other questions.
Yeah.
So we will keep it for later. So whoever answered that particular thing, humility and pridelessness are totally different, okay? We will clarify what does pridelessness mean after this class, after this Kahoot. But for now, humility means no expect of respect. Say, for example, I'm coming to this Kahoot session. And if the students are not respectful to the teacher, that is me, if you're not respectful, do I have to continue teaching the class or do I have to leave the class? Say, for example, I am talking, and if I am talking, somebody else is interrupting and going on talking, laughing, making fun of me, making fun of the teacher. And looking at the situation, do you think I have to stay in this class or move away from that class?
Stay in this class, Mataji.
That is what is Amanitvam. I'm still staying in this class in spite of you trying to make fun of me, mock at me, not showing respect to me. That is because I consider this as a service to Krishna. So I'm not expecting any kind of respect from you. If I'm treated respectfully, it is good. It is fine. But if I'm not treated respectfully, Actually, you guys, if whoever is mocking at me, they are committing Vaishnava aparadh. Right? Whoever is mocking at the teacher, making fun of the teacher, is actually committing Vaishnava aparadh. And that will be taken care of by Krishna, because Krishna, in the case of Ambrish Maharaj, we all know the story, what happened to Durvasa Muni. He had to go and beg pardon to Ambrish Maharaj, right? Like that, at some point, the person, whoever is mocking at me, making fun of me, he will come to me and ask for his forgiveness. That is because of his ignorance, he is actually making fun of me. So irrespective of whether people respect me or not, I perform the service to Lord Krishna. That is for him to be pleased, I perform the service. That is the act of humility. Okay? And now, pridelessness, right? The definition that Srila Prabhupada gives for pridelessness is not being anxious to be famous. So again, what happens, say in the same scenario, okay, I'm teaching classes and say, for example, the class strength is now 1,000 students are attending my class. Then there is a natural tendency for me to get proud about my teaching, right? That is because I'm teaching really fantastic. All the students are coming to me and listening to me. So that is pride, okay? And how this pridelessness means, you're not at all anxious to be famous. Even if there is, you're not at all anxious to become famous. Your motive is not to become famous. Your motive is to please Krishna. Okay, kids? So this is what is humility and pridelessness. And both of them are not the same. And here we have two different options, and this is humility is the right answer. Okay? And pridelessness, what is the Sanskrit meaning for that? Anybody knows that? Sanskrit
Mataji, it
meaning.
might be a question.
Adambitam. Adambitam.
Adambitvam. Yes, that is not a question. Okay?
Okay.
Thank you. You're all safe. Okay, the next question. If there is a verse, who Prahlad is going to read the verse, okay? I'm not sure if the verse will come now or later in the time. Bhavya, Gauranga, Vrinda, OK, Shubha, and Giri. These are the top 5 winners. Fifth question for today. Jnanam means. What does Jnanam means? This is all simple Sanskrit words. Okay?
Yeah, it's easy.
Yes, these are all very, very simple Sanskrit words. Jnana. What is Jnana? So you have good Jnanam. Some people will say that in Sanskrit, right? Yes, that is knowledge. And what is non-violence? Anybody in Sanskrit knows what is non-violence?
Ahimsa.
Ahimsa. Yes, good job. Ahimsa is non-violence. Okay, so let's go on to the next question for today. OK has come up, Shubha and Giri have come up, and those two have come up, and the rest same places. Bhavya, Gauranga, OK, Shubha and Giri, Vrinda and Mukunda. OK has 5 correct answers in a row. Hope nobody is referring to the Veda base. Is somebody doing the cheating game?
Mataji, most people already know all this stuff memorized, so you don't need to.
Yes, I'm just telling they should not see Veda base. Just for your clarification, nobody should look into Veda base. Okay, this is a closed book test. Okay, the 6th question for today. Everywhere are his hands and legs, his eyes, his heads and faces. His ears are there everywhere. What are we talking about here? Everywhere. The word everywhere is the key. Okay, 2 people have said wrong. So the soul is not everywhere. Is it everywhere? It is there only within us. It is there in one person's body, right? I mean, it is there as individually. My soul is in my body, and Varun's soul is in his body. Bhavya's soul is in her body. Prahlad's soul is in his body, like that. But when you look at Paramatma, he is there in Radhika's body. He is there in Varun's body. He is there in Aditya's body. He is there in Prahlad's body. He's there in Mohit's body also. It doesn't matter. Mohit is in Australia. Doesn't matter. He is not going to go to Australia. He is definitely going to be there also. Okay. So the next question for today. And if there is a verse, who has to read the verse? Prahlad, right? Okay. Here Bhavya is leading, followed by Gauranga, okay, Shubha, Giri, Vrinda, Mukunda. Seventh question for today. It is a true or false question and answer. Super soul is within the modes of nature, and at the same time, he is the master of material nature. Is it? I'm not able to move it. A master of the modes. So, first of all, the first sentence, it says super soul is within the modes of nature. Is it right?
No, Mataji, he's a transcendental.
Yes. Bhavya, how old are you?
13, Mataji.
13. Okay, good job. Very good job. See, he is above the modes, right? He is the Lord Krishna, right? Shirodaksha Vishnu. And he's all, I mean, all of them are coming from Lord Krishna. And
Wait,
Super
then
Soul is,
how come Mataji he's in us? Like the body, he's in the body too, since that's material.
correct. That is the mercy of the Lord. He is there in the material body because he wants to make sure he is Upatrishta and Anumanta. He is watching, right? He is watching when the soul will turn towards me. When can I help him? When can I give knowledge from him? 15.5, what does it say? You all know. What is that sloka? 15.5. No, from me comes, as Paramatma, I'm providing three things. Somebody, can you chant the verse 15.5?
Chapter 5, text 5.
No, 15. 15th
15, yes.
chapter, 5th verse.
Which
I'm
one?
giving you.
Nirmana Moha?
No, no, 15.15. Check 15.
That's Sarvasya.
Namcha Vedaischa Vedanta
Sarvasya Chaham Hadi Sannivishto Mattasmaternyanagohanam cha Vedasya Sarverahameva Vedyo Vedanta Kritveda Videha Chaham.
So what does it say? What does it say? The super soul is the one which actually gives us three things. What are the things that he gives us? He gives us knowledge, he gives us the remembrance, and he gives us the forgetfulness. So the super soul is there for a reason. He is not only there in your human body, he is also there in a hog's body, dog's body, cat's body, and all others. He is traveling with every soul for that matter, because he wants to watch and witness, be a witnessing person, right? He wants to witness and he wants to help the conditioned souls to come out of this ignorance and help them all go back to Godhead. When as soon as we turn towards Lord Krishna, then he will start to give everything, the knowledge that is required. He will provide all of that. Till that time, he will act as a witness. Somebody has to be the witness of you doing. Even if you are doing bad things, somebody has to watch, right? The karma account comes into play. Whenever we do bad things, bad credits are getting into our account. And when we do good job, good credits, the punya gets into our account. Somebody is witnessing it. Who is witnessing it? It is the super soul. Yes. Are you clear, kids? And he is not within the modes of nature. What are the modes of nature? We all know the modes of nature. There are three types.
Goodness, passion, ignorance.
Very good, but Bhavya. So it is goodness. That is, what is goodness in Sanskrit? Satvik. Then passion is Rajasic. And then Tamasic is ignorance, right? So this is how the modes are. And the super soul is above the modes. And he is the master of the mode. So the second sentence is correct. The first half of the sentence is wrong. You understand at least? Okay. So the next question for today. So Prahlad has come up. We all see that Prahlad has come up. Very good job. And Gauranga, congratulations. You have 7 correct answers in a row. How old are you, Gauranga? Is Gauranga on? Anyways, I think your voice is breaking. No problem. Okay, another true or false question. In Vedic literature, what does it say? Narayana is the supreme person. He is residing both outside and inside of everything. Is it true or false? Yes, he is inside and outside of everything. Outside in the form of material nature. He is there. His energies are working outside. Inside, he is there as Paramatma. That is how he is there, both in and out. Okay, which is the correct answer. All right, Soumya, she has an answer streak of 4. Congratulations, Soumya. We have Bhavya, Gauranga, okay, Prahlad and Vrinda Mukunda in the top 5 places. And now the next question, 9th question for today. Is the super soul divided? True or false? Yeah, I'm just asking if the statement, the super soul is divided, is it true or false? False. Yes, it is false. They may appear to be divided. It may appear as if the super soul is, oh, in my heart, in Aditya's heart, in Prahlad's heart, in say Soumya Sita's heart, in Gauranga's heart, in Bhavya's heart, in everybody's heart. So it appears as if it is divided, but not at all. The super soul is one. It appears divided, but it is not divided. That is why it is false. Okay. Krishna can make anything happen due to his inconceivable potency. How is this possible? How is it that it is there in so many people, but yet it is not divided? That is possible because Krishna is inconceivable. His potencies are inconceivable. We cannot understand how his potencies work. And that is how this is also working. The super soul is divided and it appears to be divided, but it is not actually divided. Do you all get the point, kids? Very important.
Yes, Mataji.
Wonderful, Tanvi. Thank you so much. Okay. Okay, Bhavya, Gauranga, okay, Prahlad and Vrinda. Same set of top 5. And we have Gauranga getting an answer streak of 9, has 9 correct answers, which is all the correct answers. All of them are correct so far for him. Okay, the 10th question for today, it's also true or false. Material nature and living entity should be understood to be beginningless. Is that true or false? Yes, the question is very, I mean, just so you understand, if beginningless means there is no beginning to it. It is there. It has always been there. Material nature and living entities, they have always been there. That is what it means. I don't know if it was a little.
Wait, Mataji, didn't Krishna didn't he start everything? So it had a beginning.
No. There was no beginning. That is what it is being clarified in Bhagavad Gita. What gets created is the material body. The material body is what is created. The material elements come together. They are coming together to create this body. But then all the soul and everything, that is the material nature as such. It is the material nature, is the energy of the Lord. It is there always. But the forms that you see in the material world, those are all created. That is the bodies, right? Those are all created. But the living entity means the jiva. The jiva is always there. Okay? Aditya, are you clear?
Okay, Mataji. Yes.
It's very important, and thanks for bringing up this question, because we are under the assumption that we are created. No, we are not created. The jiva is always there, just that this body is created. Okay? Haribol, did you get the point?
Yes, Mataji.
Good job. Okay. 10th question for today. Bhavya, okay, this is the same set of top 5, so I'm not going through the list again. Very good. Harini, highest climber. Congratulations. She is up 3 places. Good job, Harini.
Thank you, Mataji.
11th. Good job. Thank you. Sarvataha means everywhere, every time or constant. Sarvataha. It is sarvataha means if you don't know, you now know it. It is everywhere. Okay. So next time, for those of you all who want to prepare for the quiz, you go through the purports, or not the purports. You don't even have to go through the purports, at least the simple Sanskrit meanings, right? Those simple words, and then you can just go through the translation if that's possible. This will help you attend the Kahoot quiz very nicely. Was it a tough one? I don't know. I'm not sure. Is it tough? Maybe next time I can make it simpler.
Okay, Mataji.
Okay, Tanvi. Sarvataha, can you all remember it? It is everywhere. We learned quite a few Sanskrit words. What are the words we learned so far? Ahimsa is non-violence. We learned the word amanitvam. What is amanitvam?
Humility.
Humility,
Mataji?
right.
My screen, my connection was poor, so I'm stuck on the 10th question.
Oh.
So should I rejoin?
Oh, okay, you will lose your points, but that's okay, Soumya. No problem. It's okay, no problem. But did you remember the Sanskrit words? Amanitvam, Adambitvam. Do you remember? I think Bhavya brought this up. Adambitvam is pridelessness. Yes. And then we learned, what other words we learned?
Ahimsa.
Ahimsa, yeah, that is non-violence, right? Ahimsa is non-violence. Then sarvataha now, okay? And then any other words we learn?
No, Mataji.
No?
I don't think so.
Okay. And I'm going to teach you some words, okay? So Prakriti means material nature. I'm going to teach you those words. We can go over that later, okay? After the quiz. Okay, the next question, because the top 5 winners are the same, and we have Tanvi now climbing up high, 3 places up. Congratulations, Tanvi.
Thank you, Mataji.
Okay, let's go to our 12th question. Dash means accepting body as oneself. You're accepting body as oneself, but you're not. We know you're not whatever that is, right? That is the question. What does it mean to accept body as oneself? It is false ego. False ego means you're accepting the body as oneself. You think you're the body. That is false ego. Okay, no problem. For those of you all who missed it, you should now understand. And what does real ego means? Who can answer this question? What is the real ego?
Mataji, real ego
knowing
means...
that you're the soul.
Yeah, and you're the servant of Krishna.
Correct. The real ego means you're not misidentifying body as yourself, but you're identifying you as the soul. And what does that mean? To Bhavya's point, it means we are the servant of the servant of the servant. That is what it means. Varun, can you move? Okay. So this is what is real ego. I don't know. I'm hearing some.
Mataji, you're echoing.
I know I am echoing. Can everybody mute? And Prahlad, you can be on unmute. Because you will now get the verse. Okay, be ready. Or next time maybe. Okay, that's a true or false question. External cleanliness means taking bath, but for internal cleanliness, one has to think of Krishna always. Is it true or false? What does external cleanliness and what does internal cleanliness mean? Correct. External cleanliness means taking bath. As soon as you wake up, who all take shower as soon as they wake up? Raise their hands. Can you raise the hands on Zoom? Sai, Vedas, Harini, Soumya. Okay, who are not raising hands? Is everybody doing it?
Yeah, I do shower. Just couldn't I couldn't raise my hand and like.
Good job, Tanvi. Good job. So what is that is what is external cleanliness. When your parents ask you to take shower, it means that you are externally trying to become clean, and that will actually help you to become clean internally also. When you start to chant the holy names of Lord Krishna, when you have taken shower, that will have a bigger difference because you are clean externally and your environment is good, or your ambience is good. There is no sound that you are hearing from everywhere. It is calm and peaceful. Then you can focus on the holy names of the Lord, and which is the chanting. That means the external cleanliness actually helps you to promote internal cleanliness also. It helps you to create an ambience. It helps you to think about Krishna nicely. That's one of the, it fosters it. Okay, that is why when parents say take shower and do everything else, your tasks, whatever is required in the morning, this external cleanliness plays a very important role. Okay. That way you can think about Krishna more joyfully and more nicely. It is it will help you. It will aid you. Otherwise, you won't feel good. You may be smelling. You will feel disgusted about yourself. Okay, and that will not help you to focus the mind on Krishna. And Krishna also likes you to be clean. Okay, so we need to follow the advice of Krishna and be externally clean. And then internally clean means you think about Krishna always. And that is what is internal cleanliness. Both are required, right? Internal and external cleanliness are required in Krishna consciousness. Now there is last question. I'm not even sure if I did the verse or not. Prahlad, if there is a verse, please recite here. If not, I will give you a chance next time. Okay? I'm so sorry. I don't remember now if I have it. Prahlad, you have come back with 3 in a row. Congratulations. Bhavya, Gauranga, OK, Prahlad, Vrinda, Mukunda are top 5. Last question. It's a true or false question. Non-violence means to not put others into distress. Is that right? Is it true or false? What does non-violence mean? Yes, it is true. We are thinking, oh, animal killing is non-violence. Of course, animal killing is non-violence. That means you are not putting the animals into distress, right? Did you understand why Srila Prabhupada is, what Srila Prabhupada means? And when you are speaking harshly to others, right? When you are speaking really bad to others, that is also non-violence, because that way you are putting others into distress by speaking of these harsh words. So whatever is creating distress to others, it's actually non-violence. It's actually violence. And whatever is not creating others into distress, that is non-violence. Okay, very important point that Srila Prabhupada brings. So of course we have to be non-violent towards animals, not only animals, humans. You have respectable elders who come and visit you at times. You have your relatives who come and visit you. At that time, oh, I'm going to do only, I'm going to really behave bad in front of them. If that is the meaning, that is what you intend to do, that means you are actually creating distress to your parents. So our purpose of life is not to create distress to anybody. And if you are creating purposefully that distress to your parents or elders or anybody in the family, then Krishna is not going to be happy with you. Okay, we have to, as much as possible, be nice to them, sing songs in front of them, sing Vaishnava bhajans, sing our talk. I mean, if you have something to share about yourself, you can share, give respect to others, pay obeisances to elders when they come. This way, they will look at your behavior and they will ask, oh,
Mataji, I can't hear you. You froze.
Yes, Mataji.
I'm sorry, I got disconnected for a minute. So what I was saying was we should always behave in the best possible way. Okay, whenever we are put into a situation where we have to behave nicely with elders, with Vaishnavas, with relatives, we have to do our best job. Okay, that way it will actually inspire others to come into Krishna consciousness through our behavior. They may be so curious to know, hey, where are you learning these things from? Who's teaching you all this? They may ask you, and then you will say, I go to Zoom classes, I attend a lot of classes through ISKCON, and they are the ones who are teaching me. My parents at home, they are also helping me teach, and then they'll come to know about Srila Prabhupada, they'll get into the movement also. Okay, so we always have to strive and be in our best possible behavior as much as possible. All right, kids, so we will now go into the results. Are you all ready for the results?
Mataji, I can't see your screen.
Okay, can you see now?
Yeah.
That's okay. That's it. Gauranga, second place. Bhavya, first place. And okay, third place. Prahlad and Munish, the runner-ups. Congratulations, kids. Top 5. I know that I was hearing from Varun that his computer was getting disconnected and it was giving some trouble. So he was not able to fare well. That's okay. Perfectly okay. All of you all are winners. And the reason you participated is because you wanted to know more about Krishna, and that aim is fulfilled, right? That's all we need. And the 7th question, most of you all got it wrong. That is this one. Super soul is within the modes of material nature. Is it true or false? Is it within the modes?
No,
Super soul is
no, Mataji.
above the modes. It is transcendent. It is transcendental, right? That is why it is wrong answer. And lot of people got mistake there. And what else? This question also. Material nature and living entities should be understood to be beginningless. We all understood that, right? We are not created. Only our material bodies are created. The forms in the material nature are created. But material nature and living entities as such, they are beginningless. Do you understand? What does beginningless means? It means it doesn't have a beginning. I think Aditya had this question. Are you clear, dear?
Yes, Mataji.
Okay. All right. So these are the 2 questions which most of you all got wrong. Okay. Now let's go into a full report and get the view of the full report. Haribol, are you able to see your screen? I mean, see the screen?
Yes, Mataji.
Okay. And Bhavya, she got 100%. Congratulations, Bhavya. That was perfect. Gauranga has scored 93%. Aditya has scored 86%. Prahlad 79. Munish 71. Vrinda Mukunda 64. Shubha 64. Varun 57. Tanvi 50. Harini 50. Okay. So this is okay. Saumya, Sita, Sai, Vedas, and Saumya. Okay. The same people. Okay. So this is the report, and 4 of you all didn't finish. That's perfectly fine. But we all understood and learned a lot of things today, isn't it? So what?
Mataji.
Yeah.
Mataji, I just have a quick question. So, if suppose like what you said on the last question, so like if, suppose I accidentally killed or I accidentally caused stress to Anjiva in the form of animal, etc., while walking on the street and killing an animal, is that like part of like will I gain some sin on that, or like do I have to suffer on that task or something?
No, what happens is those things that what happens is by unknowingly we kind of trying to commit some sins, right? The chanting of the holy names of the Lord itself takes care of all the sins that we perform. That doesn't mean we have to knowingly perform some sins. What I'm saying is through the chanting of the holy names of the Lord, all the sins that we can possibly think of are taken away. That is why when your parents say, please chant the holy names of the Lord, it is for your benefit. See, there could be a lot of things that you are doing unknowingly sometimes, and unknowingly, and sometimes knowingly, unconsciously you're doing. Unconsciously you're doing. You're not conscious about the sins that are there. And no, you may know it, but still you may knowingly perform some things, right? So all those are taken care of by the holy names of the Lord. Very, very important. That is why it is to chant the holy names of the Lord. But on the contrary, the Vaishnava Aparadh, right? The Vaishnava Aparadh is something that the holy name cannot do anything about it. That is why you are suffering for the reactions of the Vaishnava Aparadh, especially when you are not respecting somebody, when you are creating distress to somebody. That is a Vaishnava who's chanting the names of the Lord. When you are creating kind of distress to somebody, when you are performing Aparadh, for that you have to take forgiveness from that person, whoever you are committing aparadh to. Okay. And so since the holy name takes care of the sins, you should not wantingly do sins. That is also prohibited. That is an offense. Okay. Misusing the strength of the holy name of the Lord by indulging in sinful activities. That is not right. Are you clear, dear? Bhavya?
Yes, Mataji. Yes, Mataji.
Okay. So we have some 5 kinds of obligations. The obligations are there to our forefathers, obligations are there. So like that, all these obligations are taken care of by the process of devotional service itself. Okay, that's why it's very important for us to perform this act of devotional service. And Prahlad, yes dear, go ahead with your question. Hari bol, Prahlad? Is Prahlad raising his hands or no? Bhavya, yes, go ahead.
Yeah, Mataji, I just have another question. It is not related to this topic, but suppose I'm doing one of the 9 process of devotional service, like hearing a lecture of someone or doing chanting the holy name of the Lord, and then suddenly the worship of the Lord is like started. Should I perform the arti, or should I first finish my chantings, etc., and then go and perform arati?
Yeah, as far as possible, the chanting, if you are doing 16 rounds, Bhavya, am I right? You're doing that. If you're doing 16 rounds, you can first complete that 16 rounds, that quota, whatever you have, then can go and join because that if you are doing that already, are you into it already? Chanting?
No, yeah, but I chant 8 rounds total.
No problem. So whatever rounds that quota you have for the day, I always tell my kids also that you finish your chanting first and then do the other things later. As soon as you wake up, take shower, you can chant, finish that task, and then you can finish all others, because the chanting actually is the most important activity for the day. And as much as possible, you can try to complete that early in the hour, early in the morning. That is sattvic. Why I'm trying to say that is because those periods are conducive for you can concentrate on the mind. The more the day passes on, you will be in rajas and tamas, which is not good for chanting. So more the mind is sattvic, the more it is better for us to utilize that time in chanting. Again, you should not sleep and chant. You should not play your cars and chant. You should not be distracted while chanting. You should, as far as possible, try to focus on Lord Krishna. Okay. All other things, whatever you're doing, that is not right, because the inattentive chanting is also, it's the mother of all offenses. We have to be very cautious about it. When we chant the names, we all think about Krishna. Just chant the names and slowly, Hare, okay, Hare. Hear that Hare syllable. Hare Rama, or Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Listen to the syllable, okay?
Okay, Mataji.
Thank you, dear Bhavya. Any other question, kids? Prahlad, do you have question or no? I see that raised hand from long time. I don't know. Any other question does anybody else have? I actually wanted to go over this particular chapter. So see, Arjuna is asking 6 questions in this chapter, okay? But I don't think we have time, no problem. So I'll just tell a few pointers that can help you. First, what he does is Arjuna is asking these questions. What are the questions he's asking? He's asking, Krishna, I wish to know about Prakriti, which is what? Material nature. I wish to know about Purusha, who's the enjoyer. I wish to know about Kshetra, the field. I wish to know about Kshetrajnam, the knower of the field. I wish to know about Jnanam, which is knowledge. I then wish to know about Neyam, which is the object of knowledge. So this is what Krishna is, going to answer now to Arjuna. So it's kind of, what are these terms? Kshetra, Kshetrajna, all of them are seeming so confusing. We are not able to understand, one may think, right? Kshetra is nothing but the body. That is what they are talking about. These verses are in Upanishadic language. That is why we are able to see these verses which are saying Jnana, Neyam, Kshetrajna, Kshetra. So difficult, right? They are all Upanishadic words. That is why we feel they are so technical. But nothing to worry. They are all simple only when it comes to understanding. So now Kshetra means the body. And Kshetrajna, what does that mean? Kshetrajna means the soul. And Kshetrajna also means the super soul. Are you clear, kids? Kshetrajna means 2 things. It is the soul and it is also referred to Kshetrajna also means it is a super soul. And Jnanam, what is Jnanam? We all learned through our quiz that Jnanam means perfect knowledge, right? That is what it means. So now Krishna, he will start to explain all these 6 questions to Arjuna. Okay, I'm going to explain you what is material nature means. I'm going to explain who's the Purusha, who's the actual enjoyer, and what is the body? How is it made of? What are the material elements the body has? And what about the super soul and the soul? What are the qualities of them? And what about the knowledge? What does the perfect knowledge mean? And what is Neyam, which is the object of knowledge? All this will be explained by Lord Krishna. I don't know if we have time today, but at a later class, we can go through everything in detail. Okay, I'll try to teach you and make you understand what this 13th chapter is all about. I'll try to provide a summary on this chapter once we complete the chapter after talking to Champaklata Mataji. Okay, is that a good idea? So that we can learn more about this chapter and understand what is Arjuna asking to Lord Krishna and how is Krishna actually addressing Arjuna's question. And then we'll also know about the process of acquiring knowledge, right? What is the process? What are the 20 elements of knowledge? That is Amanitvam, Adambitvam, Ahimsa, Shanti, Rajavam, all that we will learn. Okay, is that a good idea, kids? Maybe for today, we can all adjourn if it's okay with you. Any other question does anybody have before we adjourn for today?
Can I say something?
What?
This is Giridhari.
Yes, Giridhari.
I was wondering. I was seeing like a book about like Krishna's like no. I just saw it. But actually, it is like this is not real. Krishna's dead. Like a Jara, like the hunter shot an arrow on his Krishna's feet, lotus feet. Is that real?
Krishna, yes, Jara shot an arrow.
Because we see
Jara shot an arrow in Krishna's feet, and after that,
like the hunter.
Yes, the hunter. So this is again, how can a hunter put an arrow on Krishna's feet, and how can Krishna be killed by that process? right? It is so deceiving, right? It is to deceive the atheistic people. Krishna is making the atheistic people think, oh, see, a hunter is able to kill Krishna, like that. Those atheistic people, they will start to believe, oh, Krishna is a material body, that's why he was easily killed. All that will be mentally speculated by the atheistic people and those who don't believe in the Lord Krishna's supremacy. But we all know that Krishna can never, he is the cause of all causes. We are responsible, we are all here because of Krishna. And he disappeared through his own sweet will. He went to go the spiritual world through his own sweet will. And for those people who want to speculate about his disappearance, they can keep on speculating.
Mataji? Okay, Mataji, I understand. But those people who don't know that Krishna didn't die because that is not real.
Yes, Krishna can never die. This Krishna is the cause of all causes. He just disappeared, boom, to the spiritual world. Boom, that's all. He will go.
I think he wants to do Leela.
Yes, he wants to create some gossip amongst the atheistic people. Oh, this is that, this is him, this is him. They want to keep on speculating, right? Something to speculate about, and that is why he is doing these things.
Wait, Mataji, I want to tell you something. I didn't know this before this answer.
Yeah, go ahead.
In Jagannath Puri, in Jagannath's like a body, there's a heart inside. Is that real? Oh my gosh, I want to say.
So the thing is,
that.
Krishna, his body, everything is spiritual. There is no difference between the body, like how our material body and soul, there is a difference, right? Spiritual and material. But for him, everything is spiritual. In his heart, we see that Vishnu, in his heart, he has Lakshmi. Why Lakshmi is there? Even if he's standing alone, there is Lakshmi always with him. So there is absolutely, he is always with the goddess of fortune. That is what it means. But his body is, everything is spiritualized. It is transcendental. There's no difference. There is no material involved. Materiality, he's above the materiality.
So Mataji,
Yes.
Mataji, I just wanted to tell you something.
Yes.
Actually, I know that my brother always gets surprised to say that shloka.
Yeah. Why is he surprised?
Because he really wants to tell shlokas to his dad sometimes.
Oh, he says to dad?
Yeah. He says about Jagannath too.
Okay, he says it to Jagannath too. That is so cute. I know he's getting prepared with his Hanuman costume soon. So hopefully he'll be dressed. And thank you so much, kids. So can we all adjourn for now? We can do our prayers. Vancha kalpatarubhyasya kripa sindhubhyascha
Patitana
pavanebhyo
Vaishnavabhyo
namaha. Ananta Koti Vaishnav Vrindi
Ki Jai.
Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur
Thakur
ki
ki
Jai.
Jai.
Srila Prabhupada ki
Ki
Jai.
Jai.
And I also want to thank Champaklata Mataji for giving me this opportunity to enrich the kids about the 13th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Hare Krishna to you, Mataji. Thank you so much. Hari Bol. Bye, kids.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Krishna Mataji.